am Shamika, his wife.
And I'm Patrick, her husband.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe. What is the button called?
Subscribe.
If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to it. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up. Also, share it with other people, make comments, and hit the notification bell so that when we upload videos, you guys will be the first to get that notification. Also, if you have any questions that you want us to answer on this particular channel, please send your emails. Please send your questions to
his wife, her husband at gmail.com.
His wife, her husband, 97
Woo.
at gmail.com.
Yeah, let me say it.
Say it again.
His wife, her husband, 97 at gmail.com.
Amen. So we left off with on the last video, we're talking about 4 key components that we believe are
essential
to a successful marriage. Even though there are more, these were the 4 that we felt like were important.
And I added one more too.
I added one more too. What was your ad?
Mine was service.
Mine was finances.
Yeah, because you had to buy roses. Valentine's is tomorrow.
So, so the first video, so in the first part 1, it's also part of how we met, then we answered the question. So one of the first component we gave was friendship. The second component that we're going to discuss today is
communication.
Communication, conversation rule the nation.
And it creates chemistry.
Conversation creates chemistry.
It does.
So you're going to start out? Well, am I going to start out?
I can start out. No, you can start out.
All right. So when you're communicating with your loved one, I always give the example that it's most important, or the most important part of communication is not actually verbalizing your thoughts or your ideas. To me, the most important part of communication is listening. And not just listening, but listening with the intent to understand what the other person is saying. Not listening so you can find a good jab spot to give back, especially if you guys are in a creative discussion. But listen with the intent to understand, why do they feel the way they're feeling? Why do they think the way they think? Also listening with the intent to understand
where they're coming from.
Yeah, and where they've changed. Because as you grow older, a lot of people say they're not the same person I married 10 years ago. Well, you're not the same person either. And if you're not actually communicating and listening to what's being said, you miss the turns in marriage. And that's how couples end up 25 years later, and they're getting divorced because they didn't keep up the communication part, the understanding part. Now you're getting understanding. And now they don't know who they're in this relationship with. And so they're in a relationship now with a stranger than the person when they first got together.
Patrick made a good point too, on speaking of turns in a relationship. And so if you think about being in a car or even on a motorcycle, like the way to keep a smooth flow in traffic is sometimes you have to oftentimes it's helpful to pay attention to the signals.
Good.
Because the car in front of us don't say, I'm about to turn left,
Right.
It's like it's indicators along the way.
That's good.
To let you know the next move or next step that I am making. And so even though we are in relationship with each other, meaning in this point, this channel is focusing in on family as well as marriage. And so your spouse will give you indicators, because we are growing, not only in the marriage, meaning at an anniversary years, but even as a person. We married when we were 20 and 24, and now we are double that, right? And so with aging came change,
right?
And that's real, And so what I used to like or what I used to do, it may not work anymore.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And if you're not communicating, and I always use the example, it's not a good example, but we're in the South. If she used to like hot sauce on her popcorn, and you're still trying to give her hot sauce on popcorn, and she doesn't like hot sauce anymore, she likes vinegar and ranch
I know that's weird, but then you
on
know
the popcorn.
what's-
If you don't know that, then you'll be upset because what you mean? I've always given you, yeah, but I stopped liking that 5 years ago, or I stopped liking that 3 months ago.
or the change or the signal will be, I now have to take a medicine
Good.
because I have high blood pressure, or
Correct.
because my cholesterol is high.
Correct.
So even though I may not have communicated that I no longer eat hot sauce, I made a change due to a report or something that I got, which means I had to turn.
I got advice one time from a young lady, and she said the problem is, she was talking about men. She said the problem is that men don't listen. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, if your wife comes in the house, and we're talking about, and these are cool points too, guys. If your wife comes in the house and you're already there, and she come in and she's like, you know, my throat is scratching, like it's itchy. You know what I'm saying? My throat is itchy. She comes in, my throat is itchy, and she's, she said, don't ask her.
You want me to get you some water?
Don't do that. She's already communicated
A signal was given.
that I need water. To get the cool points, go ahead, get up, get the water. So now we're in a time now where you can push pause on whatever you're doing,
And
you know,
playback.
and playback. So if you hear that, go ahead and go get the water and say, you know, here, baby, you know, all right, you came in, you sound like you need some water. Here's some water. She's like, oh my God, that's
And
so
so
wonderful.
this is
Thank you.
good that Patrick made this point, because women, wives, we have to say, I ain't asked for water, I wanted Kool-Aid. Like, be grateful
Right.
and thankful, you know, that they went out of their way, that they paid attention to the cue signs or the signals.
Right.
That there was a need that you had, and they put forth an effort. Even if they did do or are doing the last thing that they knew. Like, you may very well have a taste for Kool-Aid, but you've always been drinking water. You know, it's like if he brings you the cup of water, even though you had a taste for Kool-Aid, still show gratitude,
Right.
which ties in with their service again.
Good.
Being a recipient, like really being appreciative that somebody thought enough, your spouse thought enough to pay attention to the signals, which was a form of communication.
Correct.
To say, you know, I love you enough to make sure that I meet that need.
That's good. All right. So communicating to the point of I'm listening for understanding, and I'm listening for understanding so that I can respond in a way that supports you, or I can understand in a way that will show appreciation. All right. So that's part of the communication. Go ahead.
I have something else I want to say. And another thing is, when you listen to understand, then you're sowing seeds to be understood.
That's good. I was
You
trying to
know.
go there. That's good. I forgot though. That's the
Uh-huh.
point I was trying to get to.
Yeah, and so again, and that goes even in a relationship.
Mhm.
Like, we help us one to another. So maybe where you may drop the ball, I can pick it up. Why? Because I've been with you long enough, and I understand where you may be going.
Right.
But you still take you sow the seed to understand, so that you can reap a harvest of being understood.
That's good.